Hey there, Josephine. I just wanted to say hey. I haven't seen you in a long time. Um, Josephine's Sola-Kozlowski. Um, I'm wanted to make a video because your sister recently contacted my sister about my whereabouts and what I'm doing and my concern, or, what my day to day is, what I do on the weekends, what I do on my time off, and when I work, and all these very specific questions. So I thought maybe it's my turn to reach out to you. Um, you know, uh, you're the sister of the court reporter from Bucks County. Um, I have a few questions for you instead of about your sister. Um, but I wanted to comment first on your public GoFundMe page uh, post that you made calling me delusional and whatnot. But you did say that me walking away from my son was the best thing I ever did. Um, I read that and I tried to respond to you and I tried to share with you and I tried to text message you. I put it in writing for you that the information you had was wrong and I was willing to talk to you like a human being instead of go behind posts like that. We could talk about this issue person to person. I say that because 25 years ago or so, or 20 something years ago, uh, I broke up with her. And before we broke up, you and I, when we met, we had no issues. There were no fights. I can't recall one time that you and I, or your mom, or your cousins, or your aunts, uncles, and their kids, and your family that I've met, even Steve Kozlowski's family that I've met, and two satellite dishes I put in both of your houses, the one in Trenton and one in Levittown. The amount of time I've spent with your family throughout the holidays, I can't recall one single fight or argument between you and myself, or me and anybody else in your family, for that sake. So that person that you saw for that time that I was together with your sister, that is me. It has always been me. If Would we know each other for over 2 years before we broke up, and I can't recall one fight. You and I never had an issue. You were there the day Josh was conceived. I mean, we're very close. It was a very close thing. So um, I'm sorry I didn't have the kind of relationship with you as your sister has had with my family for many, 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 many years afterwards. Um, but I did try to contact you and let you know some of the truth. So, um, truth be told, um, the first time he was kidnapped from me was 2003. Um, she signed a paper that said that I paid for. I went to the lawyers and I said, "Listen, we talked about this out. It's really nice. We're just going to do split 50-50 custody, mutual thing." And the lawyer was like, "Do you want me to put down days?" And I said, "No, because I paid for it out of my pocket, so that because this is what was going to be happening. We were going to be doing our um, custody in that nice, polite, easy manner. Half you, half me. You pay, you pay. It's right there. Done. That was what we signed up for." So when you said me walking away from him, you have to be more specific, like which time, because 2003, once she signed that, she reneged, she kidnapped him, and then she took him and said, "Your custody is every other weekend." So she kidnapped him from me in 2003 and forbid me from seeing him at all unless it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon. and that was her rules. So she went against a written agreement. Did you know that? Did you know that I fought to make sure that that continuity within our family was going to be there? Did you know that I told her that I was going to, I wanted to look forward to having holidays and parties and whatnot with Josh and your family, moving on? Did she tell you those things were important to me? How much your mom's cooking I loved and learned about, and your family's, your dad's wine. I mean, I love your family. I mean, I can't say that you and I or me and one of your other family members have ever had an issue together, which is so confusing. So when you write mean things like that online, and I felt like saying, you sad girl. Like, you don't know the half of it. You think I walked away in 2011? No, she kicked me out and she stole them from me in 2003, but she didn't tell you that. But then the next month after she did that, did she tell you about the first head trauma that he had on July 14th, 2003? Or that need to go to the pediatrician to go because he hit his head? Did you know about the next month on August 23rd, 2003, that he fell down so hard over 7 G's of 470 G's of force minimum to have a concussion on his head? And were you there for that? Were you at her house? Did she tell you about it? Were you aware of it? Because my family wasn't aware, but we were all kept out of that little piece of information for a long time. Finding out that he was down and unconscious and threw up and his eyes rolled back over his head. Did you know all those things happened to your nephew? Because I didn't find out until 4 years after, when I accidentally pulled his charts and found out the abuse that was going on, so I called Child Abuse Hotline. Did you know that what happened that day to him? Were you there? Did she tell you about it? Where was he? How bad was it? What part of the house was it in? What day was it on? I mean, these things were important. What happened after it? Like, how come you didn't tell me? How come you didn't tell my family? How come you hid it from me, my family, my mom, my sister? Did she hide it from your family, from you, from your cousins, your aunts, your uncles? That Josh almost died, and when he was laying on the ground, he hit so hard that he smashed his head. Where were you at? You're the aunt. You were the godmother. I know where I was. I was looking forward to my every other weekend with my son. Until somebody says, no, it's not going to be done like that, against a court order that didn't even care about it, and then called my son, your nephew, a business, that he needs to be treated like a business. Did you know she was called the cops on that year? Do you know I went in for, uh, I had to call the cops on her, and then I had to call contempt of court because of her issues with not giving him to me. So if you want to tell me now, 25 years after this whole freaking fiasco, where were you then to not know what was going on? Did you, she tell you I walked away from him in 2003? Did you know that after you sent that post, that after you wrote that post, it reminded me the fact that um, that voicemail that I posted on YouTube about her threatening my custody before a judge, and I should back down and change and manipulate what she's telling me to do in that voicemail, and I complied with her because she was threatening me, and she's a court reporter and she has a backing of Bucks County, so I did. When she forced and threatened me to not try to help him, did she tell you what I was fighting for? What was going on with him? Is the neglect, the uh, the medically necessary things for his ADHD and his disabilities, that she canceled on all of us and not even telling the doctor or anybody else what was going on, and then changing things with the school? I mean, did she tell you what I was going there for. I was going to make sure that he has a better future because his stuff was being neglected, and I was trying to get that all hashed out so we can do the best thing for him. I've been fighting to be in his life since the beginning. The thought that the ignorance of someone that would say me walking out of his life was the best thing I ever did. Girl, at that point, I had been trying to be in his life from jump. And I paid for the paperwork to make sure that 1 week her, 1 week me, and this is how it's going to go. Did she tell you these things? Josh is no better off. I mean, in relation to, I don't know how he is medically. Uh, Physically, I believe he has damage to his brain and to his skull, and that would be seen by a neurologist under MRI care for the protocol to finding out how that's done. So that kind of's got to really be a priority because aneurysms can happen to people who have severe blunt force trauma to them, especially 70 and over G's of force. So if it was 100 G's, it's more than 70 G's. When a ride at the amusement park is between 3 and 5 G's, he hit over 70 G's was a minimum of force to hit the ground 6 inches. It took him, he went from 0 to 70 G's in 6 inches. And that's what your sister told the doctor, that's how that happened, because anybody who has have half a brain know that G's don't happen over 6 inches off of a one step that's on that paperwork from the doctor. You can't get to 3 to 5 G's in 6 inch step. So a concussion happens over 70 G's of force. That means it's a further away than a single step. But far be it for me. I'm not an investigator. I'm not a doctor, but I do have access to the data that tells me that the information that's in that is a bunch of shit. So I'm just here to say that I've been fighting to be in Josh's life. I've spent more time and effort trying to be in his life. When your sister made herself a single parent on her own, I don't know why you would want to tell the world that you're a single parent when the dad's been sitting right here the whole time saying, hello, can I have him more? But the story she's told you. So my point to your post is she's not telling you this full story. She's not telling you the true story. When you made that post, it was like, wow, does Josephine not know the years that I've been fighting for him? And then ever since I found out about the attempted murder, I was kind of concerned. So without any details, what is one to think when it's been left up to speculation and evidence that points to that? So I felt bad that I didn't respond back to your GoFundMe page message, but I feel like you were in the same position as Bucks County and myself. We've all been playing catch up. I've been playing catch up. It took me 4 years to catch up. 4 years to get started to learn that I needed to catch up. So much stuff was hidden that it took me. So I'm loving myself through this process. I'm video documenting this as I'm going and trying to be a good steward of the truth, and that's what I'm offering. And I'll say it again. I offered to speak to you. I text messaged you saying, "Hey, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's set this out." This was years ago, and so many times I feel like I'm doing all the work in the relationship. Well, that's okay because Josh is worth it and the truth is worth it. So that's why I spent that effort trying to speak with you, because you're part of her family. But she won't let you talk to me because she's distorted the truth so much that nobody knows what the truth is. So I don't want you to believe one word I'm saying. I want you to take all of the information that I have, all the documents I'm willing to share, and show you what I'm saying. If you need physical proof, so I'm willing to share the data, like I've been saying for so long. I'd rather you be educated, not sound ignorant when you speak things about things you don't know, especially when it sounds bad. When I have to come back and say, no, you're wrong, and you didn't get it right, and you had it wrong, and she had it wrong, and that's how I know you know how it was wrong. So this whole whisper down a lane or changing, manipulating the data to tell you one thing was totally the opposite thing. So I'd really be concerned for her and for Josh, because if you were to ask her, I'd find it really weird that your mom or you didn't know about this fall. This well, let's just play. I want to say accident because the court reporter played it off as if it was nothing a big deal. It wasn't serious. It was, him laying with unconscious from hitting from so far. That wasn't important to her. His health wasn't important. She wasn't worried about the throw up, or well, she probably was worried about cleaning it up. But taking him, making his safety first was not her priority that day. So I'm sure that you and your mom know something about that, right? Because you're all her family. And if you don't, then I guess that means that this was kept from you as well. So false pretenses again with another family member is possible. So secrets. There's a saying about secrets. Anyways, yeah. So, I wish you the best. I want the truth to come out for Josh. He deserves to know the truth. He needs to know his status. He needs to know his brain is going to do good things, and any limitations, but to know that he's safe. He's got to know he's safe. He's got to have peace of mind to know that his brain isn't going to attack him as an aneurysm or some sort of brain malfunction and misnormality that hasn't been caught because of that. That he can have a successful life, and that's all I've wanted from the beginning. So take that with that. I wish you all the best. I really have nothing but love for you. I mean, like I said, I've known you from the time I met you, from the time we separated. I had not bad words with you or your family or anybody else, and I'm the same person that you knew from the time you met me, from the time we separated. I'm sorry about what you were told, the lies from that I wasn't able to defend myself. But that's another thing too. Nobody from your side ever said, "Hey, Mark, is any of this stuff true?" Like no one. My sister, your sister talked to my sister so much. She was looking for so much information from my mom and from my sister for so many years. And you and I never spoke. And you never even bothered to ask me if anything was true or real, which is kind of disheartening because I kind of feel like not anybody from your family think any of this is like, no one bothers to check you. Everybody just takes everybody's word for it and nobody bothers to fact check anything. I mean, I offered to tell you. I offered to be straightforward. Like, hey, this is what I have. This is what I know. This is how we need to help Josh. And if you're going to ignore me and she's going to ignore me, and then, okay, well, that's fine. But then I have every right to go online and do what's right for him. So all that to say is, do your due diligence. When somebody offers to open up to you, open up. I mean, what is the worst you can hear? I mean, I'm willing to sit down with anybody at any time and sit down and tell them the information I have and, let you know this is important to me. This has been important to me. But Josh is my son, so I got to do what's best for him. So if this looks stupid on the video just because I'm trying